Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to How to Win with E-commerce Site Search. This is going to be a very short presentation of 20 minutes with the opportunity to ask questions at the end. Let me first of all introduce myself. My name is Paul Gibson. I'm the Chief Executive of PureClarity. PureClarity is part of a larger group. We've been developing e-commerce solutions now for about 10 years. So we have a vast amount of experience of producing online solutions, both in the B2B market and also the B2B segment. PureClarity is the summation of all of our experience in these markets, and we've helped numerous amounts of customers increase their online sales. Let's just focus first of all, before we go into site search, onto what are the real challenges of retailers and wholesalers at the moment? Well, clearly the first challenge is to try and increase the online sales. Increasing online sales is an equation that is partly to do with generating more visitors, but it's also to do with how you present information to visitors to convert your sales better. So the primary focus for any tool, such as search, is really to help you increase sales. So you get people to spend more money, and also to try and ensure that you don't lose any customers on the journey. So PureClarity is an intelligent e-commerce personalization software. So this is making sure that the user journey and the user experience is more personal. And personalization has been proved to increase sales. When people are treated personally, they get a better experience and they're more likely to spend. PureClarity focuses on a number of areas to provide this user journey, personalized user journey. First of all is personalized search, which I'll discuss shortly. The second is personalized merchandising, which is presenting products to customers that are very relevant to them. And it's all based on big data and AI learning about behavioral activities on the website. So let's turn to the subject of the webinar. What I want to do now is just take you through some of the current state of the e-commerce site search, just to give you an idea of where people are at the moment. Explain to you some of the key 2016 best practices that are being used at the moment to increase revenue. And then I'm going to explain the difference between what there is out there now and what you can also get with personalized site search, and why personalized site search is going to increase more sales, whether you've got search on your site or not. Then I'll just quickly discuss a success story so you can see some of the metrics to underline personalization approach to site search. And then we'll cover how you get started. How can you actually increase your sales online? So the first subject is current state of e-commerce site search. Well, site search has been around for some time now, and those who have actually implemented site search on their sites are seeing typically a 50% higher increase in conversions. This is backed up by research done by eConsultancy. Now, the challenge now is how do you actually push that further? And this is where the next step, if you start to introduce personalized search as opposed to just generic search, then you're more likely to increase your sales again by a further 20%. So introducing search, you can see, is something that can help you increase your revenue online quite dramatically. Let's have a look at where people are at the moment in terms of implementing site search. Well, it's an interesting fact. A lot of people are still not actually having any form of product name search or model name search in their search engines. So a fifth of people who've actually implemented search aren't actually allowing their customers to search by product name or model number. And this is particularly prevalent in B2B, where a lot of customers will shop by product model number or even a product name that they know quite well. So there's a lot of people actually missing out on that opportunity to increase sales. Another interesting fact is that a lot of these implementations of search handle spelling particularly poorly. And this one here, 18%, handle misspelling so poorly that users have to pass a spelling test in order to get relevant results. Again, if you're keying in some key term into a search engine, into a search online, you need to have something that handles misspelling. People's ability to spell has reduced dramatically over the years, but they can misspell product names, and especially if you've got a very strange product name or something that is can be easily misspelled because of branding of that name, then it's very important that the search engine can pick up on that element and make sure that the search is relevant. Another common mistake is that some of the search implementations expect users to actually understand their terminology in order to find products. So I'll take an example. If you're in Germany, a mobile phone is called a handy. So if you're doing a search for handy, that's a sort of a jargon term, but if you are a German coming to a British site and key in handy, then you won't be expected of the jargon that the Brits use, which is mobile or handheld or anything like that. So it's very important to use synonyms, so like words, so sneakers and trainers, to make sure that people don't drop out of the search. And this statistic is quite amazing. 70% of people don't actually look at what's being searched on their site and see whether the searches are failing because there isn't an adequate synonym. So the search, if that was correct and they had synonyms in place, then means that the search would actually increase and bring back more relevant results. So, what we've just covered now is what you can get with some of the products out there, which is just a standard-based search with a bit of intelligence built into it. The next step is personalized search. So when people are actually searching, it will have learned exactly what people have searched on in the past, and also what you've searched on in the past, and know what your likes are and your dislikes are. And then it can start to personalize the search results to you. And this next level of search is the next step up. And this all comes under the umbrella of personalization. Personalization is not being widely adopted at the moment because it's relatively new, but it's a new buzzword for 2016. And this surprising result, 82% of leading retailers have not yet implemented e-commerce personalization. And then personalization covers a number of things. And PureClarity, as I mentioned, covers search, it also covers recommendations, but also email broadcasting personalization. So if you really want to get the most out of your search and also increase your revenue and conversions, then the next step up from the standard search is to go on to a personalized based search. Before we go there, let's just have a look at what you should include, first of all, in the standard search. What are people expecting now? So let's have a look at some of the key 2016 site search best practices. The first thing is, of the 5 most important things, is look and feel. A lot of this is common sense, but it's backed up by some research. The top 50 retailers use search in a prominent position, and that position is either the right or the middle of the top of the screen, because that's where people expect it. Again, this is common sense, but it's backed up by research. And the way to do conversion is making sure that the search falls in line with the branding and design of the website. So search results look into the design of any sort of autocomplete looks. The size of it is also important to make sure that it's obvious for the people to look for it. And it's no point booking the train by putting in something completely different or in a different place altogether. The best place is in the middle or to the right. In addition, a lot of implementations of site search focus on desktop. And it's only recently where responsive is starting to become quite widely used by a number of retailers, that the search has been forgotten in terms of where you do search in a responsive environment. So it's very important to make sure that the search within a mobile device or in a smaller screen device is as good as the one that you've got sitting on your desk. The final point here is to make sure that you signpost it. Make sure people are very clear about where the search is. And so putting in place a search hourglass, magnifying glass, and also signposted very clear to say search is here. Now that's all very common sense. You'd be surprised how many people don't actually do that. The second main point is autocomplete. Now autocomplete, you've probably seen that on quite a number of sites. You may have it on your own site. The reason for autocomplete is to make sure that the customer doesn't have to work too hard. And they are putting in keyword search terms. They can be putting in products, they can be putting in brands, but the autocomplete really should be suggesting keywords, suggestions, products, and brands based on the search that they should be quick. So when you're typing the results in, every time you key a letter in, you're presenting different results. Another form of the autocomplete is not actually having the autocomplete. The actual result page is presented similar to what Google is doing within site search context. The reason why you want to do autocomplete, well, there's been studies that shown that it provides a 31% increase in click-throughs of products if you're providing an autocomplete, because people are being presented relevant information. The third thing is intelligence. Now we've spoken already about product codes, and we've spoken about misspellings, but you need some intelligence behind this. In terms of people keying in keywords, you need to be able to get an understanding of what people have searched on, what search terms are bouncing, and how you can optimize the search intelligently so that you can prevent bounce rates or no matches on search. So the first thing is to make sure that product codes, for example, if somebody's keying in the product code, then it goes straight to the product. Misspellings, we've talked about already, but you can see in this example, inquiry. You'd be surprised how many search sites come back with nothing, no results for inquiry when it's spelled. We've already spoken about synonyms. The other key thing is if people need to search for specific content items such as delivery information, return information, and contact information, then using URL directs is a very good way to get information to the user as quickly as possible. And what that means is if they key in contact us or delivery or return policy, you can redirect them straight to the page that's necessary. The fourth area is filtering. Now, filtering allows, or faceted navigation, it's otherwise called, allows people to key in a search term, and then it's presented back with a group of results that they can then filter down dependent on attributes of products. This is quite common on sites, but the way to win with this is to make sure that the filtering is automated so that the search actually knows what attributes to present different search results. It's multifaceted, so using multiple attributes, and it's also, and this is the note, it's smart. So on the left-hand side, these areas up here can start to move around depending on the commonality of use for a particular search term. So if somebody's searching on shoes, for example, if we start to find that the common filtered attribute is red, for example, then with PureClarity, the actual filters down here can move into more position. So we make it less hard work for any of the users to the detail they want. So the less time people are finding the attributes, the better. And these attributes can be as long as your arm, and that's why making sure the top 10 attributes, the top 10 filters, are moved up to the higher end of the search results so that people can get it. And that should be smart, intelligent, and all automated inside the search tool that we're using. And the final point is speed. Now, if you look at some search implemented on some sites, you find the search is around about 4 seconds, and 4 seconds is an eternity. Some are even longer than that. And you can see this is results from a study done by Kissmetrics and Radware, that if you can actually reduce your search results down to the millisecond, you've got a better chance of actually increasing sales. If it's tipping 1 second delay, you can reduce your sales by 7%. It's a huge price to pay for very slow search. And from the survey that they've done, you can see there's 51% of shoppers are now claiming that the site search is just too slow to complete the purchase. So speed is imperative. So we've covered 5 of the important areas. There's look and feel, there's auto-complete, intelligence, filtering, and speed. Now, you can go and buy products, search products that can hit all of these. You can implement it in such a way that it looks good, and that's great. And you will see an increase in conversion, and you can optimize your search results, and you can provide a better user experience for your customers. So how can you then actually increase this even further? Well, this is where personalization comes into play. And personalization may seem a buzzword, but really what does it mean? Well, I'm going to explain what personalization means in the context of PureClarity and how we've used personalization within search and within merchandising. And you can get an understanding what search personalization is and how it can actually increase the level of revenue, whether you've actually got search tool in there at the moment or whether you have nothing in there at the moment or it's just a standard text search. Let's understand personalization. Well, personalization is, from our view, split into 3 areas. Now, traditionally what's been happening with site search, the first level is crowd-based. So this is using crowd-based knowledge about what people have been looking at, what they've been clicking on, to present the best search results and the best product recommendations. So the majority of tools out there now use crowd-based knowledge. So they're presenting the best form of product recommendations and site search based on what the crowd has been doing. And they typically do that by monitoring what people have been looking at and what they've been put. And then they use tools such as frequent pattern mining or collaborative filtering to just work out correlations between people and then present the best results. And that's crowd-based. And it works, you know. People set trends and people follow trends, and crowd-based works. But if you want to get a little bit smarter, then the next level is segmentation. And segmentation has been around for years. You know, back in the 50s, people were doing segmentation, and it's a very common marketing term. But if you can segment your crowd into different groups, then you can have more targeted response. So I'll give you an example. A first-time buyer, for example, coming onto the site may be different to a returning visitor coming to the site. That's quite a high-level segmentation. You could then segment it into further. So US visitors may be searching differently to UK visitors, and you can segment that way. You can even go even further down to camera lovers. Camera lovers search on these terms, and shoe lovers search on these terms. And you might have segmentation in B2B. So if you're a B2B business, you might have different types of trade customers that you can segment. And they might be doing searches slightly differently and looking at different types of products, so you can recommend different products. So segmentation is the second level of personalization. But true personalization is personalization, and that is actually collecting information about the individual, looking at what their trends are, what their social likes are, what they've reviewed, what they've bought, what they've put in, what they've abandoned, and really get a very good understanding of that individual. And then the search results can be refined on it. So you can understand what they previously searched for. They might not have actually bought it, but they might be coming back to the site and then searching on a similar term again. And you then know that they've looked for that before, so you're more likely to present something that you know they're actually familiar with. And this personalization is the next step up from just the standard search, which is covered quite a lot by products out there for crowd-based. Some are even starting to do segmentation, but not very many. And then there's not that very many doing personalization. So let's just look really what this means. So we've got an example here. So this chap here is Tim. And we know about Tim because he's quite a loyal customer. He likes cameras, and we know quite a lot of data about him in terms of demographic information because we got that during the sign-up process when we're taking marketing preferences. Also, we know what he's looked at in the past, both on this device and also on a mobile device. And we know what his searching trends are. So we can actually provide a personalized search to him. So if he's starting to look for camera accessories, based on what we know he's previously bought, then we can actually tailor the search results for him solely. And the way that PureClarity deals with this is it tiers it down those 3 levels. So it gives him personalized results, then segmented results. So if we've got camera lovers and we want to actually produce a promotion for camera lovers, we can do that. And then down to the crowd base in terms of what's trending at the moment. And we can see on here also that the search results are being personalized to him as well, based on his logo of Nikon camera. So personalization really is a collection of understanding the individual, but also having the power to do what you've previously done with segmentation and using the power of the crowd as well. So it's those 3 levels. Here we talk about hybrid algorithms, and that in essence is what I've just spoken about. It's making sure that the search tool that you implement has a very good understanding of the behavior of individuals, has a very good understanding of the segments of individuals, and also has a very good understanding of what's trending within the crowd, and can use all that collective data to then present back what it's learned about an individual, such that the results are personalized. And you then get an uplift in conversions. Let's cover a success story of where this personalization has been implemented. So this is personalized search. And the numbers are quite astonishing, really. So by just implementing personalization, this is one of our customers, which is a big B2B customer, actually. But they do have retail customers coming to the same site. By implementing personalized search, they ended up increasing their revenue by 26.74%. By providing personalized search, they managed to decrease their homepage exits by 40%, which is a phenomenal figure. In addition, their increase in search sessions went up by 55.53%. And as a result, their online transactions increased by 17%. Now, this is a very short presentation, but this shows you the power of just doing personalized search. If it was just the standard crowd-based search, then they would have had an uplift in conversions, but because it's personalized, relevance becomes most important, and when presenting extremely relevant information, then you will get an increase in sale conversions. So I've just taken you through, very briefly, what site search is, what people are typically implementing, what the 5 key areas that you should be concentrating on at the moment, and then the exciting new avenue, which is personalized search, and the potential of increasing sales by using total personalization. Now, if you want PureClarity to help you work out the best way to implement site search, we provide a site audit, and we will have a look at your site and we'll provide you some recommendations about how you can implement search. We'll also ask you some questions about your customer base so that we can work out whether personalization will be fitting and suitable for your client base. If you want more information, then you can go to www.pureclarity.com/resources, and on there you can request an audit. But there's also a pool of information there that you can learn more about personalised search. So that concludes the presentation. What I would do now is ask you to provide any questions. If you have any questions, let me know. I shall try and answer them. And in the meantime, thank you very much for your time, and hopefully we, PureClarity, can help you improve and increase your online search by providing personalised, increase your online revenue by providing personalised search. Okay, I'm just waiting for the first question to come through. Okay, just one coming through now. This person's asking, how would search software be implemented typically? Okay. Well, the best tools provide JavaScript snippets to be put onto the website. In terms of what PureClarity does, you can just replace the search box that you've got at the moment with the PureClarity search box. And then the recommenders that you saw when we were showing Tim, the recommenders are just areas on the site, divs, HTML divs, that we can then feed information into, provide a product feed into those areas. The other element is to make sure that we have an actual product feed for the products that are coming through, and also demographic information. So if you've got in your database user information such as age, any sort of personal information that you can use for segmentation, then we will take that into account as well. And what PureClarity does on that second tier of segmentation, it can work out, and you don't need to do anything about it, it can work out the different types of segments you've got to present the search results based on segmentation. It doesn't know much about the individual. So I hope you find that typical search software implementations probably take 3 to 4 weeks. There's not a huge amount of effort. We provide a technical implementation guide. We also provide an onboarding process, which is quite quick and easy. And so within 4 weeks, you should be up and running and providing better search. So whilst I've been talking, somebody else has actually given another question, which is, how much management time would you recommend? How much management time would you recommend? So I'm assuming here that it's the management time of optimizing the search. Well, not much really. There's two elements. It's particularly PureClarity, because PureClarity is based on some smart algorithms and artificial intelligence behind it. And you can choose to either let it free run, as it will go and learn itself and modify the searches dependent on its experience, or you can step in and actually do some optimization. You can do some A/B testing to see whether some certain scenarios are better than others. And that's both across merchandising and merchandising. And there's not much time. Once it's been set up, it should be free running, but it's best to sometimes look at your search results in the dashboard to see whether you've got matches that don't bring any results back, and whether there's any sort of trending of new brand names and new products you might need to put some synonyms for. But in terms of management time, it's quite low, actually. And I think there's another question here. What about multilingual and multi-currency? Well, if you get a smart enough search plugin tool, they should be able to cope with multiple languages. So you have the ability to make sure that if a site visitor is coming from Germany, for example, the site search knows that it will expect German. And this can be all triggered by a flag or from a visitor, or the source location of the visitor coming to it. Currency, multi-currency is a similar way. There's two ways of doing this. One, you can actually pass the individual currency values across to the search to the software, which you're setting those price pointed values out. So if you want to sell something for $100 and also £100, then you can send those two values across, or you can just send a currency conversion rate, which would then just convert it depending on that value. And a few more questions, but we've now used up the time. So I just want to thank everybody for attending this webinar. There are a few other series of webinars that we are planning to do in the future. Please do go to the resources on the PureClarity website to see if there is anything of interest to you in terms of personalization and search. And if you then want to talk to us about how we can help you, please give us a call. All the numbers are on the PureClarity website. Thank you again for your time, and have a good day.